Bon
Good
Jovi.
evening.
How is everybody doing, man?
How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Happy Hump Day, or Wednesday, as one would say. So, yeah.
Right. Take roll call and we're gonna just dive in, man, because this is a really wild case. So, right, I'm gonna say, John Stokes, like I said,
Thank you, John.
you are the boss, man. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Drumstick, how you doing, player?
How's it going, man?
You're all the players
So,
now. So I'm gonna say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We got a new player in the house that I haven't noticed before. Humpty Bass Ball
Ball
Boots.
boots.
How you
How's it
doing,
going,
man?
man? Nice
New
to see
player in
you.
the house. So player. Right. I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna get this right. All right. Hello, player. Science, evidence, fringe, news network. Got it.
There we go.
Got it.
Ooh, bit of a mouthful, but we got there. Well done, well done.
Player. We got we got monkey silly do. Come on, shout
How's
out.
it going?
More like MT. It is indeed. It's a portal to hell, man. It is a portal to hell. Player. Darren, thank you. How you doing? Haven't seen you around before. How you doing, man?
Nice to see you, Darren.
Uh, yeah. One true Saxon. Haven't seen you in ages, man. How you doing?
Yeah,
Been been working nights. Okay. Okay. I hope
that's
you
cool,
got your
man.
420. I don't know. See, you know a lot about these cases. All right, Rebecca, how you doing? Nice to see you. To see
I see
you.
Rebecca.
Nice. Right.
Bruce
We
Forsyth,
got
isn't it?
indeed the living. Well, he's not living. The legend that is Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's
Yeah.
still
Hey,
living with us.
Sadie.
How you doing? How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Right.
Hope you're doing well.
Yes. Yes. We got some Scottish indica. How you doing?
Nice to see you,
Nice to
man.
see you, player. Right. I think that's it for roll call. So thank you guys, people that are listening that hasn't wrote. You all the players too. But right, we're looking at the I'm gonna try and pronounce this right. Colares incident. Now, it's said that this is started in 1977, but that's not right. 1977 is when the military got involved. And they were at this place in Brazil, Colares, Brazil, for 4 months, documenting, taking pictures, taking videos, taking witness statements. And also, they became part of the witness statements. A lot of the drawings that we will be taking a look at later on are military drawings from the military themselves of what they saw. But this actually started happening in 1975. This started happening. And what was going on was animals were being mutilated. So they started off with animals that were being found in certain ways and things as what we would describe as the cattle mutilations that was going on. And they progressed. They started off with little animals and it was getting bigger and bigger. But then the story takes a nasty twist. They started, how would you say, they were messing with humans. Mainly
Yeah.
the females were being under attack, but males were being attacked as well. And they were being drained of blood and what they believed was their life energy. Some of them said that once they even regained their fullness, they still always felt tired and weak. So by this time now, and there was a doctor there to at least 400 people. She personally took over to another village where they had better hospitals. They did blood works. They were missing blood. They
Wow.
they were. It's a really wild story. What I got to say to you as well, because there is an interview with the military captain who was head of this investigation for the Brazilian military. He's done an interview. The link is in the description box. The reason why I'm not going to play it is it's an hour and a half and it's all in Portuguese. So, but there are subtitles. I do really suggest you check this out. But we're gonna touch upon his interview because, as you know, if you listen carefully, you can hear the wheels rolling. So that means I've got videos for us to watch. And
Nice.
I think this is what we need to do. We need to watch some of these videos because the main investigator into this, who I believe called for the files to be released to the public through the Freedom of Information, is a guy called AJ Gura. I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong.
Okay.
But he was the guy who managed to get the only interview, the one and only interview from this military captain. And shortly after this all died. No, it wasn't a hoax. But let's have a look. Before we're quick to, let's have a look. Because too many people, there's just far too many people, civilians, and then the military witnesses for this to be a hoax. But let's dive down this rabbit hole. So first, we're going to take a look at this talk. So if you got one, roll it up. It's under 15 minutes. But this guy, he starts the case from the start to the beginning. And this guy, he was the boots on the ground investigator for us lot.
Cool. Well, for the people in chat, mostly I start off, talking about the cases, but I have absolutely no idea about this because I want to surprise myself a little bit. So it's all Hidden show today, mate. So I'm looking. Hidden says, mate, this is a really good case. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a step back and just observe because I have heard of this case before, but I haven't really gone into it. So I'm looking forward to it, brother. Yeah. You seem quite compelled when we were talking.
I'm very compelled. I've said this to you and I'm saying it now. What we're going to touch is the tip of the iceberg. We're going to try and get as many facts as in, but I do suggest if you go in the description box, there's links to where you can look at the witness statements. There you can see the interview. There's quite a lot of information out there. And if you really are interested, just go. I've been searching on the internet for like 3 days, and I'm still
that full photograph across with that cylinder.
Let me hear. Go on, tell us.
It looks like
German.
Kaz Clark. No. That's what. That's what Kaz Clark from the Pentook incident sort of describes. That sort of barrel-shaped.
Oh, I thought you was
object.
Never mind.
Not the Germans. No.
Well, that's a very good story as well. So there's here. Let's listen to what AJ has to say. I know I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, but you can see his name up in the corner. Yeah,
cool.
And this was one of his lectures that he gave in Denmark, and he was talking about, I believe, 4 cases, but this is the one that he spent a lot of time talking about. So let's let it roll.
Sweet.
It was a military mission that took place in the island of Colares by the Amazon River from September to December 1977. And why it happened? It happened because in the years of 1975, increasingly in 1976, and then in the first semester of 1977, we had a continuous and very hard UFO wave. I mean, lot of UFO sightings concentrated
and many
in
different crafts.
Island and surrounding areas in the state of Pará, right in the middle of the jungle in the Amazon, but yet not an unreachable place because you can go there kind of easy by car, you can go there by boat, you can go there by bus. So it's something that can be investigated now. But coming back, speaking again about those cases, what was happening that started in 1975 and increased in 1977 was something very unique. UFOs would be seen during daylight or nighttime and would attack people. They would have this format, like a Tuborg can. Sorry for the analogy. It reminds me to have a Tuborg later. No offense to the Carlsberg drinker. Okay, they have this format, right? They would be like this with 2 guys inside of it. And what was unique about them is that a beam of light would come from the bottom part of it and would hit people. Yes, and would burn people. Now, people who got hit by that beam of light, they said that they lost blood because they felt anemic and extremely weak. So one doctor decided to check it out, Velaide Cecin, and she actually confirmed that out of the 400 patients that she attended, that she saw, all of them had missing blood. Because of that, and even before that, this phenomena, this kind of object, would be called the suck phenomena, or only the suck phenomena, because people believed, and it was true, that it was sucking blood out of them. Now, you didn't have where to go, even if you are inside your house, because most of the houses in the island are shacks, not made with bricks, but made with wood or sometimes bamboos or whatever, and people would be attacked even being inside their houses. The beams of light will go towards the walls, the very weak walls, and hit people inside of it. I have gone to the island of Colares quite a lot, and I have been speaking with the witnesses that back in the 70s were attacked. And they say, well, Mr. AJ, it's tough. I never regained my vitality, my energy again. It's like it was taken from them forever. They have been felt like this for decades. Now, it became something very serious because hundreds of people were observing UFOs, and it's estimated that at least 1,000 people were attacked. And not only people, but also horses, cows, dogs, sheep, goats, whatever. So, except for that the animals would die. And out of the 400 cases that doctor attended, 4 people died. 4 people died. They would show to her office, clinic, a very small clinic. It's all very poor there, very low conditions, as you can imagine, in the middle of nowhere in Brazil. And they would have the wounds. The wounds would be generally from the upper arms and up, the shoulders, the thorax, and in 75% of the cases, it were women who were attacked. Only 25% men. It became in 1975, but then in 1976 it got worse. And in 1st September 1977, it was very bad. So the community started to flee, escaping from the island. Out of 10,000 people that lived in Colares Island, which is a pretty big island in the Amazon, 9,000 went away. And the 1,000 that remained, they couldn't leave their houses because the balls of light would attack them. So they couldn't fish, which is their basic, primary work. They couldn't plant. They could do nothing. The food was missing. They couldn't do nothing. Then they decided to go to the government of the state of Pará. And when they went to the government thought, well, this is something that comes from the sky. So let's talk to the Brazilian Air Force guys. And he talked to the commander of an airfield that is based in Belém, like 150 kilometers from the island. And it was decided that an operation should take place involving from 2 to 3 dozen military men, all headed by this guy, who's Coronel Uyrangê, Hollanda. And the operation started in September 1977. During that operation, over 2,000 pages of documents were produced by the military with the reports of the testimonies given by people. Over 500 black and white photos were taken, and 16 hours of footage was produced. Not video, only 8 millimeters and 16 millimeters video, all headed by this man. This military went to the island and they camped at one island beach, Humaitá, and then moved to another one, then to another one. During the day, they would talk to the victims and witnesses, and during the night, they'll do sky watches with portable radars and everything. And their primary goal was try to register the phenomena as thoroughly as possible. And then, if not dangerous, if possible, try to engage in a contact with aliens, which they did. Now, this guy, 20 years after the Operation Saucer happened with Uyrangê, Hollanda, he decided to open his heart. Up to that moment, he has never given any interview to anybody. But one particular day, he called me and said, "Hey, AJ, I gotta tell you that I admire what you're doing. And you have tried to find me before, make me talk, but I couldn't. I was in a relationship with Air Force, so now I am retired. And if you can come to my house, I will tell you everything about Operation Saucer," which I did. And when I met this man, I was impressed with his fresh memory of all the facts. He was a believer of UFOs since the beginning of the Operation Saucer. But he was not convinced that what was going on in that part of Brazil had anything to do at all with Operation Saucer, even though he went there and commanded the Operation Saucer that produced this kind of documents. Look at this. 2,000 pages of impressive reports made in a military format. These are maps showing the path of the UFOs according to the radar registering. And out of the 2,000 pages that were produced, we have about 400 released. You can have them all if you want, because this is for everyone who seeks the truth about the UFOs. Now, this is very impressive, because some pages of the documentations show the UFOs that were seen. Now, this is the suck phenomena. Here you have one drawing and another drawing, all made by militaries, right? You can see very clear, but here are the two guys, and here the tube from where the beam of light would go and hit the people. And here is a mothership like UFOs. You'll see this in the pictures that I'll show just a second. In just a second. Okay? Here's another, what they described. The military described as a mothership, like a B-2 kind of UFO. And this is a more technical design, a more technical drawing of the UFO that would attack people. What you can see here is lighting making a turn. Now, wait a minute. Have you ever seen light make a turn? No, it doesn't go like this and make a turn. It goes straight ahead. So we're talking about a very different type of technology here. Indeed, people would describe that the light would come from the UFO and change its path. We're dealing with a technology. We could possibly imagine, perhaps in 100 years, we'll make light to make turns. But not now, I'm afraid. Now, here are some more cases, and it all declassified. But thanks to the campaign, UFOs Freedom of Information now, that were conducted by the Brazilian UFO Researchers Committee. It worked, and the government released a lot of stuff. Now, some of the photos. Look here. Over 500 photos were obtained, of which we have about less than 200. Look at this. Now, I told you that one of the drawings reflected a mothership. This is what Uyrangê, Hollanda said, that it was the mothership. But unfortunately, their quality is not very good, because they even though they had best cameras available, the objects weren't easy to register. It was until the US military came and gave them special cameras and special films that they started to make better quality photos of the UFOs. This is very compelling, and it's also declassified. You can have it all. But there is a polemic, a debate about the ending of Operation Saucer. Some people say that Operation Saucer was closed, and officially it is closed. But is it actually? No, I don't believe so. Let me tell you something. I told you that one of the main goals of the Operation Saucer was to try to engage, if there is no risk, with the intelligences beyond the phenomena, because there was already, and it is written in the papers, a notion that there was an intelligence beyond the phenomena. Now, if the goal, the objective, the purpose was to meet it, to contact it, when it happened, they shut down Operation Saucer? That can just be reasonable. Because, I tell you that, because Uyrangê Hollanda himself, with one of his men, he had a direct, close contact, eye to eye, with an alien occupant of one of the big spaceships. These are drawings that he made to me during our interview, and he described this machine, which was 100 meters high. It is here again. When they were in the Guajará River, this is the river. Here is how he draw. This is his signature. Him in a small aluminum boat with a rear motor, with one of his men. This boat, this river is about 70 meters wide, and they were coming to the other side of the island where the camping was located. But just before they started to go, they, for their biggest surprise, saw this big spaceship, cylinder-like object, 100 meters wide, 100 meters in length, almost touching ground on the other bank of the river, over there. And out of a small door in the upper part of it, an alien with that characteristics, just like a human person, with a casket over his head, white and black visor, and a white uniform. This guy, this alien guy, came out of the door in the top of this 100 meters object and floated, and stayed right here, right in front of Uyrangê Hollanda. But no dialogue happened, not even telepathically, only eye-to-eye staring for a few seconds. Then the alien went back to the spaceship and it went away. Now, as part of his duties, Uyrangê Hollanda will have to go regularly to his commander in the city of Belém to report the progress of the Operation Saucer. And when that close encounter happened, he was very excited. So he went the other day to talk to his commander, Brigadier Protásio Oliveira, who was a very smart guy, but when he listened to Uyrangê Hollanda's report that they finally had a contact with an alien, he was astounded. And he decided, after a couple days of meditation in the subject, to shut down Operation Saucer. Why he took so long? Because he had to cancel people in Brasilia, the federal capital, because he had to cancel the military from the United States. Remember, in 1977, we were in a dictatorship in Brazil, as well most countries in South America, and it was all being run by the U.S. military and the U.S. intelligence. And of course, I had this confirmation.
CIA.
Of course, it was the Brazilian military along altogether with U.S. military who took this decision and informed the Uyrangê Hollanda, shut down Operation Saucer. Get all the stuff, bring your men back to city, and don't speak about it to anyone. And he said, but Commander, we made a contact. It may go on. Say, Colonel, don't talk about this to me anymore. Forget it and live your life. And the Operation Saucer was officially ended. But actually, it continued much more secretive and under U.S. military control. This caused Uyrangê Hollanda to be very unhappy for the rest of his life. And maybe this is a corroborative thing that made him took his own life just after he gave me that interview. The interview he gave me was in 1997. He watched me in a TV program speaking about, I was labeled at last, Age of Art, hunter of UFO documents in Brazil, that kind of BS. And he watched that, and I was speaking about this all, and he wanted me to interview him, which I did with my co-editor, Marco Antonio Petit, and a few months later, he just killed himself. Some people say, he was killed. He was suicided by the government. And that's not the case. He actually suicided himself. Because there was no point to be killed after he had revealed everything, right? Or the military should kill me as well, and should kill the Marco Antonio Petit, because it's to whom Uyrangê Hollanda told the whole story. But it's not the case. He actually suicided. Now let's go to the second.
Right. Now, before say anything, that interview that he's on about, the link to there's a link in the description box to that interview that he did with the colonel. I thought he was a captain, but it's right there. It's an hour and a half, and it's really interesting.
Sweet. All right, man. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Well, and everybody else, you should check it out, because we're going to see something, because I am going to show the Wire Files. I know some of you don't like it, but he does a good job covering it. I know it's mainly the Hecklefish, but I find him funny.
No, that's funny. I love it.
But in AJ's presentation of this, he does cover a certain aspect that the colonel had said, and he shows you something that's really interesting. Okay. About this encounter. So what do you think so far?
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I love lectures because it goes into details. I mean, in regards of, I just want to hear the witnesses. This is it. This is what's very compelling to any UFO sighting, is to witness testimonies.
I'm glad you said that, because also in the description box is a link to all the witness testimonies, so you guys can go and have a read yourself for it.
One thing I do have a question: the fact that he said there were 500 photographs, and I said that really poshly then, and there was only 200 released.
Yep.
So I'm very curious. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. The photographs that we saw, I mean, we only saw like 6 of them, were just, glowing balls of that looked like saucer-shaped craft. So, in regards of what the military were drawings, because what we saw there in the documentation was the military drawings there of their observation of the craft itself. Wonder if they're actually hiding like clear or clearer photographs, and the fact that the CIA were involved, or a three-letter agency, really goes to show who is in control of certain information. But they did get documentation through the Freedom of Information Act, but it seems quite controlled. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
there were so many
controlled.
documents. Yeah, exactly.
Controlled.
I mean, it's like nothing's changed in terms of like what's going on now, really, in terms of like information.
Okay,
but,
that's good. Let's get back. Stay on point, mate.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I'll stay on point. Don't worry. But yeah, if you want to play the video, mate, stick up AJ, and we'll have a little gander because he's pretty good.
Well, before we go to AJ, because you did raise a point that you would have liked to hear a witness testimony. Yep. Well, while I was looking into this case, I did come across a witness testimony. This witness testimony was taken about 5 years ago. And the interesting story was there was a crew out trying to see if there's a correlation between the cattle mutilations that were going on in America to the cattle mutilations that were going on in Brazil. So when they went to this place in Brazil, they started talking about, they were asking the people, I'm not showing that bit. I just want to show the interview, but I'm going to give you the backstory. They were asking the people about the cattle mutilation. They said, oh, we have things much worse here. And they go, what do you mean? And he's saying people were getting attacked. And they were like, what? And then they mentioned the Colares incident. And in this, they went to the mayor of the town. They asked the mayor of this town, and he said, yeah, I know about this. And while they were walking around, somebody told them, look, there's this guy who was actually a victim. So they went over to interview him. And this is what they got. Give me a second here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you go back to the 90s, I mean, one of the mutilation cases in terms of like in Mexico, for sure, was the Chupacabra. Ow, dude, seriously, that hurts. Sorry, my cat's on my lap, sticking his claws into me. But yeah, the Chupacabra was one theory, but you can trace back. Ow. Okay, you got to stop, mate. The cattle mutilation go back to the 1970s in regards of. I mean, there's always been aliens, isn't it? But something worse. Did you say something worse in terms of these mutilations?
That's the right one. Well, that's what they said, because, you know, what is worse than cattle mutilations? Human mutilations.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I mean, there's some people in chat that saw the premiere of one of the videos uploaded that show the human mutilations in like full detail, and it's horrific. It's really bad. It's yeah. Anyway,
I've got them all sitting on my desk. I've got pretty much all the cases, but that's why I said I need to take it to another platform, or I just might show it here and just not monetize the channel and put one of those, you know, the 18 blockers on it.
Yeah, good point. You could do that. Yeah. And
I think I might do that because I think it's a subject that needs to be talked about. Oh, but anyways,
yeah.
So here's the witness statement. This is coming from Quest TV. I got to give them a shout out, but it don't matter anyways. So this is when they're meeting up with this guy from Colares during the incident. So here, let's have a listen.
There's one right there.
Well, Tarja, sir, we heard about a very strange incident here in Colares back in the 1970s, and we heard that you were involved. Could you tell us about what happened?
Eles estão investigando incidente que aconteceu aqui em 77. Acho que o senhor estava envolvido também. He's a little hesitant.
We were very interested in your story. I know we showed up a bit unannounced on you.
Vou contar. Okay.
He's okay to tell us?
Yeah, he says he's okay. He's a little hesitant, but yeah.
Okay, great.
How you doing, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man?
We've heard a lot about a really, frankly, bizarre incident back in 1977. What happened? Take it from the beginning.
Isso foi em 1977 que aconteceu em Colares.
He went out to fish one night. He came back from fishing to this house, and he was sleeping. It was around 1 a.m. And he woke up and he saw the light aiming to his leg.
Really?
And he
Hey,
felt
Wade.
3 stings
How's it
here.
going?
What did you do when you felt it?
First, he wasn't able to move or to react. He was paralyzed. 15 minutes later, he started crying for help. And he yelled to his girlfriend, "What happened? What happened?" The lights just disappeared. And she said, "You were attacked by an object in the sky that sent down a beam of light."
Can you tell us more about what you saw in terms of the lights?
De lá, circulando uma cidade aqui.
They always came from the same direction, from a beach, and then they kept circling around town. And it was really fast, but it happened many times at night.
What did you think it was? What did you think was happening?
Eu não sei. Não sei.
He had no idea.
The UFO attacks began that night.
Thank you.
How long did it last? Did it continue?
The UFOs were spotted for 6 months after he was attacked.
Oh, wow.
There were dozens of victims at the time. He was one of many.
We thought it was just
Yeah.
one night.
Every night around 6 or 7 p.m., the lights would attack
Every night.
every night. So everybody was really like panicked. They would take their guns and they would try shooting at the lights. They didn't know what to do because they didn't know what they were up against.
A doutora, ela dava o trabalho dela aqui em Colares. Trabalhava aqui. Ela remitia. Mas muita gente não foram. Eu tô lembrado que ela me mandou para lá.
There was one doctor here who saw all the victims of these attacks.
Yeah.
Something terrifying and totally unknown happened. The question is, was it actually a UFO that was shining a beam of light on him and other people in the town? Or was it something much more explainable? Did the attacks, did they just end all of a sudden and the lights were gone?
He says it stopped when the military came.
Really?
Wait, so the military showed up?
Sim.
He says that the army has it all registered and then they know exactly what happened, but they keep it to themselves. They called it Operation Plate.
The deeper we get into this story, the crazier it gets. You know, now we have the Brazilian military involved. What was going on?
Yeah. I had to cut it there. It pretty much ends there. So I didn't find the full program, but that was it with the interview from the guy. Now remember, these guys, if you remember watching that program, One True Saxon, you remember they weren't there to investigate the Colares incident. But it's like what that guy said to him. We got things way worse than cattle mutilations going on here. And that's what piqued their interest. That's what piqued their interest, to talk to that eyewitness and see he's being hit by balls of light. And the thing that I didn't touch on, but I think maybe AJ might, was that these people were that scared that they were building massive bonfires to scare these things away. They were shooting fireworks at him and even shooting rifles at him.
Wow.
And it wasn't affecting these objects. And I think AJ does a better, I don't want to say a better job. He does a good job because he goes a bit more deeper into some of the stuff, like especially the CIA involvement out there as well. So I'll tell you what, we'll just roll on through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Drumstick, was there any human mutilation photographs taken?
Not that I know of. Because I don't think they were killing I shouldn't say they were killing the humans. Hey, how you doing, player? I don't think they were. Hey. I'm not gonna say because as we heard before, there were 4 deaths that can be attributed to this event. But I don't think they were purposely killing these people. Because remember, 4 deaths out of 400 known victims. Victims. So
how's it going, Adrian Bros? How's it going, Mark? Nice to see you, man.
So we're just going to mosey on down.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, fascinating so far. I'm really intrigued.
See, now, I hate to say that, but I like the White Files. I think he's done a really good job with this one. And it's very
balanced.
It's very interesting, his debunk to this.
Okay. That's cool,
So-
man. The thing is with AJ, he goes both sides. You need to look at both avenues, and this is it. This is what I like about AJ. That's why he's so popular. You know what I mean? But it is to do with fish as well.
I think I got it queued up.
Sweet.
Because the first bit of the video is promotion.
Once watched a bit into a double pinochle, bluff an entire table into folding while knitting a scarf.
I
once
had
shit
it.
up.
The hassle and put you in video in a few minutes.
There we go. Let's dive in here.
Dr. Relaide Carvalho stared at the burns on her patient's chest. Perfect circles, burned tissue. Inside each circle, puncture marks grouped together like needle holes. After 6 months as Colares' only doctor, Carvalho knew what to expect on an island of 2,000 people. Farming accidents, fishing injuries, colds. Animal bites were the most exotic cases she treated. She wasn't prepared for any of this.
More UFOs in Brazil?
Oh yeah, Brazil has a lot of UFO activity. Maybe even
Hey,
more.
Bob.
Yeah, I guess there's more to Brazil than just barbecue and bikini waxes.
There is.
And booties.
Okay. The fishermen saw them first. Bright objects shooting in and out of Marajo Bay without disturbing the water. They raced across the sky and disappeared into the jungle. Local pilots saw them too. Their instruments failed whenever the objects appeared. Some described cylinders. Others saw cones or discs. All were bright. Within weeks, more UFOs appeared. At first, just sightings. Then the phenomenon became more interactive. The UFOs waged an all-out assault on the island. Dr. Carvalho's 40th patient lay before her. All victims had similar injuries: burns, incisions, punctures. Most were women. Most attacks happened at night. Their stories sounded crazy, but were identical. It always started with the ceiling glowing orange. One victim described it like a cigar held to paper. The light intensified.
How you
Then
doing?
a hole opened in the
How's it
ceiling.
going?
Could see stars through it.
The alien
Player!
burned through the roof?
How you doing, my
people
brother?
How's it going?
shimmer.
I see.
Then they could see through the opening, but it was wavy, like looking through water.
Ah, phase shifting technology.
Probably. Next, colored lights would hit parts of their body, usually the left side of their chest. Then, paralysis. Complete immobility. They couldn't even scream. They felt blood being drained from their bodies. They gave the lights a name. Chupa-Chupa. Bloodsuckers. When people told Dr. Carvalho they felt blood being sucked from their bodies by beams of light, she dismissed it as trauma. But blood tests confirmed it. Every victim had low blood counts, even without traces of
How you
bleeding.
doing?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Whatever was doing this wasn't using any medical tool Dr. Carvalho recognized. She took patients to Belém, a city 2 hours away. Doctors there were equally baffled. The burns appeared in seconds, but took weeks to heal. Brain scans showed unusual activity patterns no one could explain. Half the residents fled the island. Those who stayed lit bonfires. They set off fireworks.
Bonfires and fireworks? Oh, they were celebrating the arrival of the new alien overlords.
No, they were trying to scare them off.
Yeah, if you can shoot laser beams through invisible roof holes, you're probably not going to flinch at a few bottle rockets or Roman candles.
The lights weren't afraid. They even shot at them with hunting rifles. Nothing worked. After treating strange injuries all night, Dr. Carvalho got a call from Belém. 2 of her patients had died. Official cause? Unknown. She begged local authorities for help, but they were overwhelmed. Police increased patrols. The lights kept coming. The island transformed into a prison of fear. Fishermen refused to go out. Farmers abandoned their fields. The economy collapsed.
Yeah, you know, it is hard in the economy when people can't go to work.
It is.
But at least on this island, they chose to stay home. Imagine if the government forced you to close your business. Devastating.
Okay, I see what
Imagine what would happen to the economy if you shut it down for 2 years. Woo, Mama, that would be devastating and unconstitutional.
Now is not the
2
time.
weeks to flatten the curve of my dorsal fin.
You got that out of your system?
Sorry. I got triggered. Go ahead. What happened next?
The mayor finally called the Air Force. His island was under attack. People were hurt. 2 were dead. He was put on hold, and a different voice picked up. He asked if victims had experienced blood loss or tissue damage like burns or punctures. When the mayor confirmed, they promised to send investigators. The mayor exploded. He didn't want investigators. He wanted fighter jets, missiles. He wanted these things destroyed. The Air Force officer was not surprised at the mayor's description. He'd heard it all before. A special unit arrived the next day, except they didn't bring weapons. They brought cameras. Captain Hollanda's Air Force team arrived with sophisticated equipment, telescopes, infrared sensors, high-speed cameras. They set up observation posts along the beach, working rotating shifts to document every incident. The military told local media this was a routine investigation. The talk of UFOs were rumors. There were no flying saucers. The lights were probably birds or planes. Or...
Satellites, weather balloons, swamp gas.
Right. The Air Force said they weren't looking for UFOs. They were just there to secure the island. But if they weren't looking for UFOs, why did they call this Operation Prato? Prato is a Portuguese word for plate, or dish, or saucer. Hollanda's orders were to debunk the story. Simple mass hysteria, he thought. Poor farmers and fishermen were seeing satellites or birds.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch out for the laser beam shooting vampire birds in Brazil. They're very crafty.
Hollanda didn't know. The people on Colares were poor and unsophisticated. This was probably a local legend being blown out of proportion. But then Hollanda's team saw the lights. Night after night, objects performed impossible maneuvers. Hollanda was an experienced pilot. He knew what planes could do. These weren't planes. The lights hovered silently, then accelerated faster than any aircraft he'd ever seen. They tracked objects diving into Marajo Bay at high speed, making no splash, leaving no wake. Minutes later, the same object would appear over the jungle behind them. The team began to recognize patterns. The objects went from the water to the jungle, then to the villages. These lights were operated by something intelligent. The attacks continued. Hollanda saw it with his own eyes. Women would try to hide, but the light followed them. Once hit, they were paralyzed. While the village was under attack, other lights hovered over Hollanda's team. He felt like they were being watched or guarded. He tested his theory and moved their camp. The lights followed. As weeks passed, the evidence mounted. The team documented electromagnetic interference whenever the objects appeared. Their compasses spun wildly. Radio equipment failed. Even the military's sophisticated tracking devices malfunctioned. This was not mass hysteria. This was real. After 4 months, Operation Saucer had assembled over 2,000 pages of documents and scientific data. Captain Hollanda believed they were close to understanding the phenomenon. The team mapped the lights' patterns, documented their capabilities, and even predicted their appearances with increasing accuracy. But these were still just lights. Not a single member of the team ever saw a solid craft. They took hundreds of photos and shot 16 hours of film, but the results were frustrating. Distant red and yellow spheres. Most frames were overexposed and useless. When Hollanda sent his reports to Regional Air Command, he told the truth. Something strange was happening in Colares. He just couldn't prove it. The Air Force was not going to respond to lights in the sky, not in 1977. This was the height of Operation Condor. The Brazilian military had to be careful. The CIA was everywhere.
Hold on. You just took a hard left turn, and this ball doesn't have an handle. What do American spokes have to do with this?
Operation Condor was a secret alliance of military dictatorships in South America designed to crush political opposition. Brazil's government was deep in it. They were sharing intelligence with Argentina, Chile, and Paraguay. They worked together on covert operations like coups and assassinations, all paid for by
the CIA.
Right. The lights might be a classified American operation.
Oh, you mean like flying drones around military bases and pretending you don't know what they are?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
If the Brazilian Air Force took out an American asset and disrupted a CIA op, the consequences would be severe. Hollanda needed hard evidence. He had nothing, just hundreds of images of pure white. One night, he was sitting in his office going through the photos, frustrated. He knew there had to be something there, but whatever it was, the camera couldn't see it. Then Hollanda looked at the flashlight on his desk, then back at the white photo, then back at the flashlight. Captain Hollanda had an idea. Captain Hollanda's team had sophisticated cameras, night vision devices, and state-of-the-art telescopes. Over 4 months, they documented every strange light and unexplained object. But capturing proof was harder than they expected. The team shot over 500 photographs and 16 hours of film. Some showed only lights, distant blurry spheres of red and yellow. Most frames were completely blown out, pure white. As Captain Hollanda examined one of these pictures, he saw the flashlight on his desk and had an idea. What if instead of examining the finished photograph, he examined the negative? He thought about how doctors hold x-rays up to a lighted board. He tried the same technique. He enlarged the negatives, which looked pure black, but they weren't. When Hollanda held them up to a light, he saw the faint outline of an object. Captain Hollanda asked Milton Mendonça to join the team. Mendonça was a filmmaker and photographer, but he was also a sergeant and a trusted friend. Mendonça brought special ultraviolet film and showed the team a new technique. Instead of trying to photograph the lights directly, they focused on capturing the solid shapes hidden within them. It worked.
Fake.
The new photos revealed cylindrical objects with black bands along their hulls. Some were over 300 feet long, bigger than a 747. The objects moved in formation, even when diving into Marajo Bay, always without making a sound. The cameras also caught smaller probes being released from what the team called motherships. These probes would return to the larger craft after conducting what seemed to be surveillance missions.
Those videos have nothing
By
to do with
December
it.
1977, the team had documented enough evidence to prove these objects were real. Captain Hollanda sent the evidence to Regional Air Command. He immediately received a call from a brigadier general with new orders. Surrender all photos, footage, and documents. All findings and reports were to be classified. Shut everything down. The team was surprised. They were finally making progress, but Captain Hollanda followed orders. They packed up camp and returned to base. Operation Saucer was over. Hollanda believed the Brazilian government shut them down because they didn't want them to find out who or what was controlling the UFOs. But it was too late. Captain Hollanda already knew. Soon after the military left Colares, the UFO encounters ended. The Air Force's official statement? Nothing extraordinary was found. Back in Colares, the story faded into local legend. But in 1996, Brazil made headlines with another UFO incident in Virginia.
Vagina episode down in your probe canal.
Virginia.
What'd I say?
The public wanted answers. For 20 years, Captain Hollanda kept silent about Colares. Then in 1997, now a retired lieutenant colonel, he decided the truth had to come out. For 2 days, Hollanda spoke with A.J. Javert of Brazilian UFO magazine. His memory was sharp, but something had changed in the captain. The confident military commander was gone, replaced by a man haunted by what he'd seen. He described 3 encounters with the objects. The first happened during a routine night watch. A light appeared over Marajo Bay, performing impossible maneuvers. The object was cylindrical, about 100 meters long, and made a strange hum.
Esse troço fazia barulho de barulho de ar cultural, mas bem mais forte, parecia que fosse uma turbina. Aquele barulho de turbina. Não era barulho de jato, era barulho de uma coisa girando, uma coisa.
The second encounter occurred on the beach. A craft appeared directly above his team.
Ela veio acompanhando a lateral, a margem do rio oposta do hospital. Ela veio acompanhando, e a gente vendo, olha ali. Olha lá, e veio. Quando chegou na direção da ilha, ela entrou na direção do Belém. Mas estava muito baixo. Na altura das árvores, ele passando a copa das árvores. Mas uma luz muito grande, uma troça enorme.
The object was close enough that Hollanda could see it wasn't made of any material he recognized. The surface seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. At this point, Hollanda realized the objects were aware of them and were being operated by an intelligence.
Eles parecia que tinham absoluta certeza de nós estávamos. Eles não procuravam. Eles estavam em cima da gente. Depois de algum tempo que nós estivemos lá, vamos dizer, depois de um mês, as coisas eram em cima da equipe. Eles já estavam em cima da gente, eles sabiam o que a gente estava fazendo. Você podia se deslocar, você estava aqui e ia para outro lugar. É lá que eles iam. Como se eles tivessem conhecimento da nossa movimentação, sabiam com segurança onde nós estávamos.
Operation Saucer lasted 4 months. During this time, Hollanda sometimes went home to see his family. During one of these visits, in his own home, he had a life-changing incident.
This is pretty wild.
Late one night, he was in bed when he heard a crack, like an electrical power surge.
Tem tido algum problema ali, aquele talido muito grande, muito forte. E ao mesmo momento em que iluminou o quarto.
After the flash of light, Hollanda found himself standing up, paralyzed with fear. He felt a presence behind him.
Tinha ser atrás de mim, me abraçando. Até numa situação meio esquisita. O cara me abraçando por trás. Eu não gostei muito da história, não.
Uh-oh. Did he get probed?
Not exactly.
That is not a good answer to that question.
While Hollanda was restrained, he saw another being at the end of his bed. It was just under 5 feet tall and dressed in a suit that reminded him of an astronaut or a diver. He didn't see its face, only a gray mask.
Eu estava muito assustado. E aquele bicho estava me abraçando. Me abraçou, me apertou e falou no meu ouvido em português.
Oh, no, this isn't going to turn into alien erotica like from a Gino Storio, is it?
Will you let the man speak?
Yeah, I'm not judging, I'm just asking.
Metalizada, metalizada, uma voz atente. Falando no meu ouvido isso. Calma, não vamos te fazer nenhum mal.
Another crack, another flash of light, and it was over. His wife slept through the whole thing. Hollanda thought it was a dream. But the next day, driving back to the operation, his forearm felt itchy. He noticed it was red.
Implant!
Yep. During his interview, Hollanda rolled up his sleeve and pressed his forearm. Something moved under the skin. A small, flexible object. X-rays couldn't detect it, but a compass could. Javert asked what happened to all the photos and the documentation of Operation Saucer. Hollanda said he didn't know. The government denied everything, and the operation was classified. He was ordered to stay silent, and he obeyed for 20 years. So why speak now? Well, he felt the duty to tell the truth before he died, or...
Vou repetir. Nunca falei para ninguém que é autorizado a publicar. Tá? Tô te falando agora. Já tô com 70, daqui a pouco tô com 70, se chegar lá, me desaparecer antes.
Hollanda's concern about disappearing seemed strange. But just weeks after giving this interview,
Oh, no.
before the article was even published,
Oh, no.
he was found dead in his apartment. He apparently hung himself using the belt of his bathroom.
Yeah.
This is usually the part of the story where I debunk what I can. But with Colares, there's nothing to debunk. Now, maybe the attacks weren't from UFOs, but the fact is, it happened. And then it happened again. In 2014, another string of UFO attacks hit Brazil. This time, indigenous tribes deep in the Amazon, the same light beams, the same injuries. The methodical nature of these attacks suggests something calculated, not random encounters. These beings are on mission. We just don't know what mission. Some scientists worry they're testing our defenses and technology. Now, if that's true, we might want to keep it quiet. Stephen Hawking warned that an advanced civilization might view us like Europeans viewed Native Americans, primitives to be conquered or eliminated. Physicist David Brin suggested any civilization capable of interstellar travel would see emerging technological species as future rivals. Better to eliminate them early. This became known as the Dark Forest Hypothesis, named after Leo Cixin's three-body problem books.
The universe is a dark forest. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path and trying to tread without sound. Even breathing is done with care. The hunter has to be careful because everywhere in the forest are stealthy hunters like him.
Every civilization hides in the shadows facing the same problem. They don't know who else is out there. But they know two things. Resources are limited, and technology grows exponentially. Any civilization discovered today could become a threat tomorrow.
If he finds other life, another hunter, an angel or a demon, a delicate infant or a tottering old man, a fairy or a demigod, there's only one thing he can do. Open fire and eliminate them. In this forest, hell is other people, an eternal threat that any life that exposes its own existence will be swiftly wiped out. This is the picture of cosmic civilization. It's the explanation of the Fermi paradox.
The Fermi paradox asks, if billions of advanced civilizations should exist, where is everybody? The answer, they're hiding. The moment you reveal yourself, you become a target. Not because advanced civilizations are evil, but because they can't risk letting potential competitors emerge. We don't know what these UFOs want, and given their technology, they could destroy us easily, but haven't. Does that mean they're friendly? Not necessarily. Maybe they just don't care. We're not a threat. Like the aliens in the three-body problem. They may think of us as bugs. And like bugs, we can be annoying, but we're not really dangerous. But what happens when wasps build a nest in your attic and start stinging your children? You call an exterminator. Our radio waves, space programs, and attempts at alien contact are like lighting a flare in the dark forest. They might lead to a new alien race making first contact, a race that will do more than experiment on a small number of people. Our government may have technology that aliens would view as threatening, and if it exists, it might be better to keep it a secret. But the decision shouldn't be up to the military alone. The military's job is to destroy things and kill people, and that's what they do. The military is necessary. But we need to show humanity is capable of more than destruction. We need civilians involved, scientists, philosophers, theologians. We need our brightest minds and our most empathetic souls, people who represent the best of us. Because when first contact is finally made, it'll either be the greatest achievement of the human race or the end of it. We need to make this decision now, and let's not get it wrong.
There you have it.
Nice, mate. Very, very good.
I like the ending bit because I do agree with him that we should have a set team of the world's kindest to show them that there are two sides. We're willing to kick ass, but we're willing to sit there and listen as well. But yeah, and coming from AJ, when he says this is the part that I normally debunk, but I can't.
Yeah, this is a very interesting case. I mean, I know. I mean, I can bring up the photographs here of some of the radiation burns from some of these people.
Yeah, just bring them all. Let's have a look at them.
Yeah,
there's tons of photographs as well. Just search on the net. By the way, yet again, I'm going to reiterate the interview with Colonel. It's there's a link in the description box for the full interview. There are subtitles, but it is in Portuguese.
Yeah, I think now with YouTube they do like audio translation, depending how old the video is. But
if I was the ambassador to meet aliens, it'd be like a bag of weed. Let's get stoned, man. So that would be me. That would be me dealing with them. This is our best weed that we have on planet Earth. Some will disagree, some wouldn't.
Possibility, mate. I have no idea these people.
Well, that's. I don't know if that's a woman because it's got some hairy hands, but that woman is one of the victims, and they're examining the wounds where she was allegedly attacked.
Right.
I'm not going to say allegedly. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm on board with this story. I'm really on board with this story. Go on.
I was going to say, with the alien beams itself, what was the other effects that happened to the body?
Well, it was taking their blood and draining their energy. First, it would paralyze them. Then it would take their blood and their energy.
Yeah. Interesting. And 4 people died because of that case, isn't it?
Yep. Out of 400 known attacks. This is the actual newspaper footage. Newspaper clipping from the time. So as you can see, the press took it. If John P. Adventures was here, he could not. Yeah, if John P. was here, he could read that and tell us because it's Portuguese.
Hold on a minute. Oh, don't worry about that. I can do that right now. Okay. Let's bring this up here.
Wouldn't it be funny if the aliens came with their own weed as well? They say, "Listen, this is stuff from our planet."
Space weed, yeah. So in this article, according to ChatGPT, I'm going to butcher some of these names. So it says people continue to create fascinating stories about the mysterious craft, which for many is a flying saucer, and others so-called Chupa-Chupa or sucker. Yesterday, for example, 3 women were attacked and presented the same symptoms as previous victims, and they were taken to emergency hospital clinic. There was also a case of a captured of a that's a word I can't mention there, which is another person, although part of the story has been kept secret. A mother and daughter were involved with the light. First was a girl aged 15 years old, then her mother Maria, aged 34 years old. The two were speaking about the reports of some passengers who had been attacked by a vampire light. It was also suddenly a warning, so they would not attend the village religious precaution or whatever. Some fancy words there. Before bed was kneeling in prayer. I'm not going to read.
Yeah. The newspapers were in there reporting it and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to read. So this photographic evidence show a remote villager named Formano radiation burns after he was attacked by a UFO whilst on board his boat near how do you say that? Hidden Colares, Brazil in 1977. One of his crew members did not survive after the incident, and multiple people confirmed a UFO was seen hovering over the boat. And as you can see here, looks like radiation burns. Yeah, it definitely looks like it. Crazy, yeah.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg of information. There's loads.
Yeah, in regards of
it kind of reminds me what's going down in Peru. Because
the
face peelers.
Face peelers, yeah, but they were talking about more or less beings on hoverboards, isn't it?
With weapons, unknown weapons. But wouldn't that now this story was from 1977. The Peruvian story is very recent. What would you say? A couple of years old. So couldn't these visitors, like how we advance in technology, could they not advance? But maybe not. Who knows? Because they seem pretty advanced, according to the colonel's testimony, that the dude came down and stood in front of him.
Yeah. So this article, forget that there.
Yeah, don't bother read it. Don't bother read
it. But that bit there, it says
vampire and planetary, interplanetary. So I would say interplanetary vampires.
Yeah, and right there, just that little bit underneath that heading. So interplanetary vampires. So it says so right there, you can see where my cursor is. It's saying here the account of these have already come face to face with the vampire popularly. I'm not going to read solid. Just carry on. So here's some victims. This kind of reminds me of what Kaz Clark sort of mentioned, that sort of barrel-shaped craft to a certain degree.
Well, this is the military drawing, and as you can see inside it, this is what AJ was talking about. Not Y-Files, but the other AJ, the investigator. And you can see the two human-like people, whatever you want to call them, piloting this craft, and he said that the beam of light would come from the underneath that thing there, and could move and could just go right angles and stuff.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, this is a very documented case. I mean, to me, that looks like your first triangle shaped UFO. It does look like a B-2 bomber.
No, it looks like something German. Germans created that. One True Saxon, you know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Wait for it. Hold on. Let's have a little look here.
Old Spring Hill Jack.
Oh yeah, a bit of Spring Hill Jack. Absolutely, yeah. Hold on, wait a minute.
That was one of the first comics I had. That's one of the first comics I had when I was a kid. Spring Hill Jack.
Yeah.
The Holton Flying Wing.
Yes, thank you, Monkey Silidoo. Yes. There we go. Call it on one of my books here. German Jet Genius, like that. The Horton Flying Wing. So
did that thing ever get off the ground though?
It did indeed. Yes.
Did it?
Yeah, it did indeed. Yes.
So
it got some
take
as well.
Take a mental picture of that. Okay.
Bring up the photograph. Yep.
Looks pretty similar. Yeah. Looks very, very identical.
Didn't oh my god.
A lot of those scientists escaped to South America.
Yeah. Oh my god. Kenneth Arnold sort of talked about like a boomerang shaped craft as well, which kind of resembles the Horton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. There we go. See, books are very handy. German Jet Genius from 1988. There we go. Go up there. But yeah, very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like craft that we've seen today's day and age, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't the B-52 bomber looks like that as well? Might be wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to read that.
B2,
but it could go.
Yeah. So there were multiple different crafts that were seen as well. You had your saucers.
I was going to say that.
You had your triangle.
Balls of light.
You had your cigar shape. The balls they were contributed saying that they were like more like probes. Because they, like you heard in AJ's lecture, he was talking about motherships, B-2 bombers. But they were talking about motherships. Things were being deployed.
Gotcha.
But that looks like your classic flying saucer, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of unusual that you got a propulsion system on the side of the craft. I mean, is that what they're actually saying?
Maybe they're trying to show the direction it was going. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I shouldn't say anything because I don't know, so I'm not going to say anything. If you don't know,
is this taken by military?
Yeah,
isn't it?
Military drawings. Most of the drawings are military drawings, like AJ's was saying.
Yeah. And here's the trajectory of the actual craft itself.
And see how I'm saying it would stop.
Certain angles. Yeah.
It's not a conventional craft because it could stop in midair and then carry on and then stop.
Yeah. What you're saying there, One True Saxon, what Kenneth Arnold saw, there was another craft called the God, I'll bring it up again. It's called a Panduma or something like that. We'll bring it up in a sec. Yeah, that's interesting. Look at that. I mean, that craft, so to speak, it's like a
I think that's the one that was I think that was the one that was I forgot what he called it, but it was kind of like water. I think Hecklefish called the name on it, and AJ agreed. Said, yeah. Forgot what he said, man. I'm equating it to like that's what he said, liquid metal. They were saying
liquid metal. Right.
They were saying the craft was made out of liquid metal.
Right.
So they could see it rippling. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But just the sheer volume of what was going and the different crafts, that kills it, man. That kills it. Different crafts were out there. And with the better pictures, but then again, military drawings. That's the one picture that they're all going on about, where he claims that's the mothership. I reckon there's better pictures.
Oh yeah, I reckon they just basically, it's very controlled, so to speak, isn't it? Very, very controlled.
Well, you got the alphabet gangs involved, so you're not going to get the whole story. But we're very lucky in this case to have so much information about it. You know, I'm not going to whinge about what we don't have, because there's so much time, you know what I mean, to take a look at what we do have. That, you know, and I think it's pretty compelling what we do have. Yes, I do agree. I would love to see the whole lot. Yes. But what we got, man, what we got here, phew.
It's pretty good. Let's have a little look.
Sorry.
Next one. Oh, that's a very, very blurry footage. Sorry, guys.
Also, warping space could distort the. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it could do. Could do. Yeah. So on the other side, I know I'm sorry. That's my bad because I sent this blurry one over. But that's actually the military drawing, and that's somebody did a recreation of from the military drawing of what they believed it was, and I thought that's pretty cool. But this is one of the probes that they reckon would shoot the beams of light down, and as you can see in the drawing, he's saying the beam is bending, going in its direction where it needs to go.
Interesting. Next one there.
These are just a collection.
Photographs are terrible.
Yeah, they all agreed. I mean, the objects wouldn't. It's like they knew that they were being filmed, so they were doing all this shit. They knew it was terrible. Even the colonel. That's why they had to get the special cameras. They had special films, ultraviolet films, afterwards, and I reckon those are the pictures that ain't been released. Because remember, we said the number was 500 pictures were taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only 200 we have. So there's 300 out there. And also, we don't have the video or the 8mm, 16mm film. We don't have that. So a lot of the stuff that was shown in the wild files, they had nothing to do with this story. You know, like the one that you called out fake, that was actually from Cuba. The other one where they said that's a Cuban sighting. That's very recent. Well, not very recent. What, maybe 6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
The one with a bunch of balloons that they were saying were like probes, that was from Mexico. And yes, it's a bunch of balloons. I'm sorry, I have to call them how I see them. But yeah, the pictures. There's only one picture that's really good, and that's the one that they all focus on, and it's the one in the middle. And even
this one,
even at that one, you can turn around and say, that's not that good, is it? But you got to consider 1977, the equipment they were working on, and my man had to think outside the box to even get that picture and examine the negative, not examine the picture.
Yeah.
Is any more we got?
So look. That's the one, isn't it? I think that was the best one.
That's the one.
Out. Yeah.
I believe that's the best one we have. I mean, I haven't I haven't had a look because there's just, I'm telling you, there is just so much. I could spend an easy 2 weeks, 8 hours a day going through everything.
Yeah.
Easy. There is a lot to this case, and that's what makes it more credible. The amount of evidence that the Brazilian government has released. And then when you correlate it with the newspaper articles, if you can find a witness, and they're all the same. They all corroborate each other. They're all telling the same story. And don't forget, this was not just in Colares. Colares may have been the main focal point, but there were 3 other places this was going on in as well. So you got people from other villages saying the same story. So I go back to the Peruvian one that's going on. I still think it's going on at the moment. And I think it, you know, it's, and they're picking on these places that are remote. Like AJ said, they're not that remote that you can't get to it, but they are remote nevertheless. Could it be some sort of military thing going down?
In 1977, with that sort of technology, do you reckon?
Well, you see, again, we go back to the Germans, the Germans. We go back to them because a lot of them were over in South America. Now you got the invention of the CIA that was like the Wi-Fi. AJ from the Wi-Fi said he gave us the operation that they were running out in South America or Central America. So they were there. And we know that the Germans were in bed with the CIA. So could they had advanced technology they were testing on the people? Could they had some advanced weaponry that they were testing on the people? It's a lot of, there's a lot of coulds in there. And there's a lot of rabbit holes to go down once you start looking at the facts of this story. And that's what I'm saying. Look at the facts of the story first, then go down the rabbit holes.
Yeah.
If you just start going down, go on.
Because there were covert operations going on. I can't remember what it was called, Project something, wasn't it? So, I mean, yeah, you could say that, but what was the purpose for? Was it just to sort of test out this technology on these villages?
If I was some sort of military agency, let's say I worked for a military agency and I was a big man and I wanted to test something out, I'm not going to go into the Birmingham city center where there's possibly millions. I'm going to find some remote place in the country, like somewhere up in Scotland, like up in the Shetland Islands, and go mess with them people up there because they're so remote. And just imagine there's no internet, there's nothing. Yeah. So back in them times, so you could go somewhere far and away, mess with these people, see if you can cause mass hallucination, see if a lot of things could come into play in this. And once you do that, you just watch the results.
Bit like the video we did on the Warminster Mystery, where it had these like UFO sightings, strange sounds, this like strange phenomena, a bit like a Falkirk incident in Scotland as well. These are just like small little villages when you look at it. So I'm not saying this is like the same scenario, but you could to say that it was some sort of test, basically.
But
you could say
then
that,
again,
yeah.
But then again, if you was an alien race and you did not want to announce yourself, you would go to a remote place and do it where if the word got out, who's going to believe them? They're a bunch of hicks, so to speak.
Yeah, but the aliens could just pick anywhere, mate. They could, mate. The aliens can knock us out, annihilate us.
But why haven't they? If they could, then why haven't they? So to me, well, I'll take that one off the table. I just say this, right? Aliens ain't stupid. If they got the technology to travel all this far, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They send probes. They know where things are. They do exactly what we do. When we want to go look at another planet, we don't send a manned mission. We don't even send the probe first. We send a satellite to figure out the terrain and everything. Then we send the probe down. And we've done it. We sent a probe to Mars. We sent a probe to Venus. We've got things circling Saturn and Jupiter. God knows what else we got out there. You know what I mean?
True.
So I think the same principles how we act, they will react or they will act. So it's It's really, to me, it's a fascinating story. And I'm not through with this. I am honestly not through with this. Whenever I've got some time that I can sit there and start digging a bit deeper, I'm going to start digging, and I'm going to go old school and write notes. And I think this story needs more. People need to really talk about this story, because to me, this is really fascinating story. You know, I'm not 100% on board that it's aliens, but I am pretty much 90% there. Because just the way, from the colonel's testimony, from the implant in his arm, and like I said, the link in the description box, you can see the interview there, and he shows you the implant in his arm. He moves it around.
Could you remember the drawing of the so-called alien? Kind of looks human, doesn't it? It looks like it's in some sort of spacesuit.
Indeed. But put it this way: even when we go to the moon, we got to wear a spacesuit. And yes, we have been to the moon. We've been to the moon several times. So we do wear spacesuits. Even I'm not even going to go into that, because that's a spiritual aspect, and I don't want to go into the spiritual aspect. But maybe they need the same suits, because just the same bacteria that try and kill us may try and kill them as well.
I would argue, for like devil's advocate, that the fact that you think of, like, especially like pop culture related aliens in 1975 to 1977. So you are dealing with, okay, for instance, put this one out of the hat, Billy Meyer, Palladians. We go a decade beforehand. You've got basically George Adamski, Venusians.
Yeah, but you're talking about hoaxers.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, you know, if the devil advocate again, saying that the fact that they were actually real, you're dealing with actual human aliens and not your typical grey aliens, you know, or Draco aliens, or, you know, see what I mean? It's so you could say,
I don't know where these guys come from. Just like Billy Myers don't know. Just like George Adamski, they make things up. They make it up as they go along. I don't know. I'm just throwing things like how we are. We have germs and bacteria on this earth that want to kill us.
Yeah.
Couldn't it possibly do the same to them? And because they've been studying us for so long, they've been as Hecklefish says, they've been probing us for so long that they kind of know what stuff's around. So they're going to say, you know what? I don't want none of that stuff, man. I don't want none of that. Let's put the suit on. Or maybe, who knows? Maybe they can't breathe our atmosphere.
Yeah.
There's many possibilities.
Yeah, I understand that, man. Yeah, I mean, if you look at, like, for instance, the Lonnie Zamora case of 1965, when he saw that egg-shaped craft, he saw basically two beings in suits, isn't it?
Yeah.
So...
Gone are the naked aliens.
I guess so.
Gone are the naked aliens.
Exactly, yeah. So those, yeah.
But
interesting.
Look, we don't know. We really don't know. So anything is a possibility, and we have to examine the possibility. Don't look at the guys that are known hoaxers, known fakers, because you can't take anything they say. You can't take it with truth, and that's a shame, because you don't know. But because they've been caught out in so much crap that, you know, like, look at Suck It Chris. You can't take a word that he says for truth now. You can't, because he's a liar. And he might one day, I'll tell you what, he might one day go out there and actually film a UFO. And it's only going to be his hardened fans who believe everything he says. But people like me will say, I just don't know. I want to see the meditator. I want to see everything. And then I'll make my mind up, because I won't write him off. You know what I mean?
But when you get in blurry dots, it doesn't help the equation. This is the, hey, John, how's it going, mate?
Or when you're making,
how's it going,
or when you're making false predictions.
Like 2027, or something was supposed to happen this year in April.
Been and gone.
Nothing happened.
Been and gone. Been and gone. They all do it. And they're still on YouTube spitting their rhetoric. But you know what? God bless them, because we need people to say, suck it, Chris. Because if we don't, then who we be saying that to? How you doing, John?
John, how's it going?
Yeah, but I still ask for the metadata, John. You never provide me the metadata. So I think you're the Florida version of what's his name with one arm, Billy Myers. You're John.
Don't say that.
You're John Myers, mate. just start keep throwing them tin cans. No, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. I love them big old UFOs that you catch, man. I love them. You haven't been catching any of them lately. Well, I love them anyways. I love seeing them big UFOs, man. But anyways, are we gonna lay that? Should we put that to bed? Because
yeah, I mean, have you got anything else you want to bring up?
Indeed, I got a couple of more things. Sure. But what's your thoughts? What do you think? Real or fake?
Oh no, real, 100%. Is whether or not it's actual extraterrestrial or something military involved. Looking at the eyewitness testimony, especially the investigators, that there's definitely, obviously, the CIA 3-letter agency involved, which they're restricting access to, documentations and even photographs. So it's very controlled. So that's very, very suspicious. Again, it's harkening to what's happening today's day and age. We're going to get disclosure in 2026 because we've got these documents.
Calm down,
but then we've got, but then you got Tim Burchett saying, well, we've got 3-letter agencies that are actually stopping access to these documentation. So it's like nothing's new. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're not going to get the information.
I'll just say we see. Let's see. Until then, there'll be channels like me and other channels that will be trying to show you civilian sightings. So
exactly. Yeah.
We'll keep the work out, and we may not be getting it right, but we'll show you something. But anyways, last show, I don't know if you guys can remember, but Nick showed a video, and I told him it was a watermark. Do you guys remember this? And I said there was a similar video came out not so long back, and it was released by it was released from the Australian police, and it was the same type of UFO.
Oh, you're talking about the chandelier footage?
No, not the chandelier. No.
Right.
I remember we had that. I had to email you. No, that's a point. That's a point. Now that picture, that's the chandelier that they talk as well. So there's two things that they're calling the chandelier. There lies my confusion. Because when you said to me about the footage, I said, no, it's a photo.
Yeah.
There's a photo of something different, and then there's the footage.
Yeah.
This is what they want you to do. They want to confuse you. Well, they confused me. But anyways, I just wanted to show you this. Now, this one caught me out. I did post this on my channel. I have taken it down. I took it down pretty much an hour after I posted it. Right, here we go. Let's get it up. There it is. Right, now what you're going to... Is it going to play? It's this object here. You see it? Well, you showed a footage, and it was very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see it?
That's interesting.
All right. Now, I want you to watch. Can you see where my arrow is? Watching this corner here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you guys watching as well. Watch this corner here, because there's a car there. And when this car moves, funny enough, this so-called UFO moves.
Is that?
See the truck? I believe it's going to start backing up. Now watch.
Yeah.
Now see, when I first posted this video, I never caught that bit because I'm too busy looking at what's going on up here. And it's somebody that commented in the video saying, that's lens flare. And he said, and he pointed out the vehicle moving, and he says it moves with the vehicle. Watch the video again. So I watched it again, and I saw as this thing moved, that moved.
Yeah, reflection, isn't it?
So it's lens flare.
looks like a lens flare, isn't it? George
Yeah.
Lucas type of lens flare. Yeah.
But that did catch me out. That did catch me out. Honestly, that did catch me out. The only reason why I'm showing you guys this because we said it yesterday, and sometimes I say things like, you know, when last week's show you played a video, and I said, Nick, that's some sort of lens flare, and I went back to this case and I said, that's how come I learned what these things look like. This is the footage that taught me that move, and it teaches me now. I always remember to look at the whole thing. Don't be focused on the object. Look what else is going on, because you might be able to debunk it.
Yeah, because it makes sense. If you like you said, if you look at the light source, it's actually primarily in the right-hand corner, right on the actual vehicle itself. So yeah.
Yeah,
And you've got to be desperate you've got to be desperate or naive to upload this. And
well,
be like, what is this?
I was a bit of both.
Oh, did you upload it? Did you?
Yeah, I uploaded it. The thing is though, I value making mistakes because I learn from them. And if I learned from that mistake, then it weren't a mistake. It was a free lesson. And that's what I got. I got a free lesson. Somebody smarter than me who studied the video, wrote to me, told me exactly what it was, told me to look at it again. And I did. Didn't come out of hate. Come out of hate. And that's why I always say, you guys, because a lot of you guys came to my aid to help me, saying, look, this is what you're looking at. This is how you can tell. This is that. Now, as I've honed in my skill, I kind of can tell. And when people do come at me, I will stand, like with the Ukrainian video. I am standing my grounds on that. Am I sure it's 100% authentic? No, I'm not, because I did not film it myself. And that's the only way anybody can be 100%. I am pretty certain that it's authentic. I am still waiting for the Ukrainian government to corroborate or deny that footage, one way or the other. They haven't come out yet. You know, the work has been done.
You know that Ukrainian footage. What people don't realize, there is some sort of vehicle that actually shoots out a net to actually capture these drones.
Yeah, and
it kind of someone actually put the device actually online. It actually kind of looks like that. So if you put that in infrared and you're actually looking at this device, it will look like basically that. It look like a bloody Pokemon sort of something like that. You know what I mean? So it's basically a device to capture drones. It just basically shoots out a net, obviously because it's in Ukraine, and you know there's a lot of drone activity going in Ukraine.
But there weren't no nets shot at it. It was
Exactly.
there for a while. There weren't no. I mean,
the thing is, the drone literally turned away as it saw the object. But
no,
again, it's all speculation.
It didn't. You look at the footage. There's no speculation. It turned because there was another object there. There's actually two objects in the footage. That object that's really close, and there's like a orb. So it turned to pan at the orb. If you look at the footage again, you could see it panning to look at the orb. Everybody's just focused on the main object. No one's, not many people have caught the other object. I have said in the comments, there are two objects there. I have told people. And that's what I felt it done.
But the thing is, you know, when you're dealing with dots through an infrared footage, it's hard to distinguish what this object actually could be because it's in infrared. This is why I can't stand these footage.
That's why I said there's another object there. I didn't say there was a UFO. I said there was another object there, and that's what the thing was panning to. That was the thing that the object was. That's the thing that the drone was looking at. The second object. Then it went back to the main object that's in front of it.
Yeah, but they're still UFOs because it's unidentified.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but you know, it's hard to use that term because the moment you say UFOs, there's a certain group aliens. Of people. It's outer space. You mean space aliens are going to visit a war zone?
Yeah,
you know, it's repugnant, and you know, you cannot say it. But you know, you'll say this till you're blue in the face. What does the U stand for? What does the U stand for?
I had this conversation yesterday when someone asked me, he says, "Oh, how's your YouTube channel going on with like UFOs?" I said, yeah, it's fine. He says, well, you believe in space aliens? I said, well, what do you consider space aliens? Well, you said UFOs. I said, no, you need to understand what UFO stand for. It's unidentified, a flying object. If I would have said it was space aliens, I would say space aliens, So, yeah, it's just, Anyway. But anyway, is
that's what I'm trying to say. I was answering Bob Lazar because I watched that idiot. What's his name? Is it the sneezing lemon or squeezing lemon? And he went at it, and he officially said he debunked it. He did exactly the same to that video. This is why I'm calling him an idiot, because he did the same to that as he did to the turkey video. He didn't debunk crap. He gave 3 possibilities of what this could be, and then slammed the button and said he debunked it. I think the man should just go back to put up his AI videos and drinking his wine, and leave the debunking to serious people who can do the job. He's not a moron. And I'm sorry, I don't like hating on people, but I don't like when you give 3 possibilities and then said you debunked it. You didn't. If you're looking at an object, there's only one thing it could be. And if you all can agree on that one thing, then that is more than likely what it is. But not throw 3 things up at the dartboard and say, you know what, I debunked it. Hey, I'm really good at this. I debunked it, you moron. No wonder why you lost the war. And that's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, man.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. But the thing is, like these debunkers and skeptical, especially debunkers, they almost like pat themselves on the back for, thinking that they've solved the case, and it's like, I did good, well done.
It's just him. I think that's ridiculous. You cannot sit there and say, well, it's this possibility, it's this possibility. Pick a lane, man. Pick a lane, stay on that lane, and I'll more believe you. He did the same thing with the turkey one. I forgot what that footage is called. You know what I'm on about?
Yeah,
the famous with the alien in the window. That classic video. And he threw three things at it and then said, I debunked it. Hey, look at me. No other debunker carries on like that. No other debunker. Mick West, he'll say, it's a bird. And he'll stand his ground that it's a bird. It's a balloon. He'll stand his ground. He won't sit there and say, well, it's either a bird, a balloon, swamp gas, a fart. He's at least he says one thing and stands his ground. And I do think we need debunkers. I'm not going to sit there and say we don't. We do need debunkers. Keeps everybody righteous in this game. But when you got debunkers like that are not being righteous, it kind of, again, it's on the other side. It muddies the waters. Because so many other people that are listening to this fool don't understand that he's a fool.
It's nice to have, obviously, I'm not saying nice, but we need debunkers there to add like the common sense approach. But then you got skeptics that just, they're in this sort of echo chamber where it's just like, nope, that is completely nonsense. I call them clit deniers, basically. They've never stimulated a woman in their life. Anyway, but you understand the sort of principle between debunkers and skeptics, So, there you go.
But anyways, now I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the show with a very interesting one that came up. As you guys know, I love my air traffic control chatter, and I've come across one where they reckon an object. This is pilots talking to air traffic control. Let me get it up. Yes, and they are describing something that is moving twice as fast as their plane. So I haven't listened to the whole thing. So this is new for me as well.
Okay.
Where are we?
Thank you, Drumstick. Yeah, good comparison. Yeah, clit deniers.
So I'm going to do some reading.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, this took place on the 29th of April, 2026, over San Francisco, California. This was at 9 p.m. San Francisco time, so whatever this is. So it's going into the planes that were there. So I'm not going to read that. Was about 7 miles final to the San Francisco airport. when the flight crew saw something on TCAS. I believe that's their radar system. They said, we saw something right to left go by. The altitude of the unidentified traffic was about 700 feet. So it's not really high up. But the reason why I'm ruling, all right, let's go. Anyways, after landing, the pilots also reported that the speed of the traffic they had seen was probably twice the speed of an airplane. What do you, important, position and altitude of the plane may be inaccurate. We don't show in uninvolved airplanes. Unnecessary communications are trimmed. This video is basically based on only on ATC communication, air traffic communication and data from the flight traffic service, and only shows how, never mind. All right. So they're just basically saying that they've trimmed it. It's an edited, because these things can go on, these communications. But anyways, let's check it out. Let's see if we jump into it. There we go, about there. Yep, still we got a long read. Is it playing? I press play. No, I didn't. There you go. Oh, and I ain't got no sound. What got sound on here?
San Francisco Tower United 1389, just outside of Stephen for 28 right.
United 1389, runway 28 right, clear line.
Clear lane 28 right. Can I get a wind check? United 1389.
Wind 28011.
Thanks. Tower be advised, United 1389. Right before the bridge at about 700 feet on the TCAS, we saw something right to the left go by.
Right.
Okay, and did it give an altitude?
Yeah, I think it was at about 700 AGL.
Okay. And it went underneath you right to left, around the 7 mile final mark?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
There's no weed, no door.
Tower United 1870, ILS 28 left.
United 1870, runway 28 left, clear to land. Use caution for traffic reported via TCAS from the previous arrival in the vicinity that you're at, around 700 AGL.
United 1870, clear to land 28 left. Tower United 368, ILS 28 right.
United 368, San Francisco Tower. Use caution for traffic reported via TCAS from the previous arrival in the vicinity at about 700 AGL. The wind's 26016, runway 28 right, clear to land.
Copy that, and clear to land 28 right, United 368, thank you.
United 1389 on Quebec, hold short of runway 28 left.
On short, 28 left, United 1389. Tower 1389.
United 1389, did you have a question, or were you just waiting to cross?
No, we're waiting to cross. I just want to let you know that traffic we saw was probably twice the speed of an airplane.
Interesting. Okay, United 1389, cross runway 28 left, call ground on 121.8, and they are either going to have follow-up questions for you, or he might just give you the phone number if it's easier, and then you can call the tower and let us know.
Roger, we're clear to cross. I didn't see an airplane go over us, so we cleared across 28 left.
United 1389, 28 left, contact ground.
Cross 28 left, and we'll contact ground. Yep.
Unfortunately, the frequency was unreadable. There you go. I'm always a sucker for these.
It's good, mate.
But something moving twice the speed of an airplane. I mean, you could get some. I don't think commercial, but I don't know if you could soup up a drone. You probably could. But 700 feet, that isn't about drone's range, isn't it?
Yeah,
Drone could get that high.
Feet, yeah.
But you know that's
quick. I don't know how quick the aircraft will actually travel at 700 feet.
Does anybody else know? Ask AI.
All right.
Ask AI, because I don't know that one myself.
How fast can a
I know. I love these recordings because, and now sometimes they're using the word saying UFOs. And man, see you later, Mark Bolt. Yeah, hey, Mark, how you doing, man? See you later, brother.
Yeah, take care, brother. All the best.
Oh, I missed you, man. There you go.
Hey,
how you
Jamming
doing,
Music Man. How's it going? Nice to see you. So it says here, Hidden, at the altitude of, is it 700 feet? Isn't it?
Yeah,
700 feet.
coming into land.
Okay. Okay, so at the altitude of 700 feet, an aeroplane can technically travel at many different speeds depending on the type of aircraft and location aviation rules. So a small propeller plane can travel around at a speed of 100 to 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
A commercial jet during
That's
a
the
low
one.
altitude flight, often 250 miles an hour or less. And a military aircraft, especially a jet, can travel at speeds of 700 miles per hour.
So we're looking at 250 miles an hour, and that was going
Yeah.
twice as that. So 500 miles an hour. That's pretty fast for a drone.
This is a military. I tell you what.
They want a military jet, though. We know it ain't a military jet because these are ATs. These are commercial flights.
Military drone travel. I'll just put in here.
Oh,
how fast
military
a
drone. But
Yeah.
but why would they be flying it over like a landings? That's
Yeah.
that. But you'd never know. You never know.
So it's saying here top speeds for a armored UAV like MQ-9 Reaper drone travels the speed of 300 miles an hour. That's the top speed.
Yeah, so we'll take, according to the pilot, we can take that one off the table because it was at least going 500.
The top speed for a military drone, which obviously will outdo any public drone, basically, is the RQ-4 Global Hawk, can travel at 390 miles per hour. Now that's a lot, isn't it? But it's still out.
It's not at
whatever
500.
this object was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah. See, I always wonder why would militaries be, but they sometimes things happen. Sometimes they have. I know it's not a broken. No, well, that's not the term in it. Is it a lost quiver or something they call it when one of their things go off target?
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a possibility, but I don't know. I don't know because I don't think they actually saw it. I think their ACAS picked it up. I don't think they actually saw it because not one of them said I saw it. Even the last one who came in said I didn't see anything. I didn't see. No, he said I didn't see an plane. That was the last bit he said. So I don't know what he was referring to. And I always love it when they land and they say, "Yeah, we're gonna want to talk to you, and you might want to call this number." they always end this stuff like that. But yeah, I stumbled upon that. I won't put it up on the channel because it didn't call out a UFO. I would have loved it to do that. Like, the last one that I had up there, it actually said, "Look, I've got a black disc over here."
Yeah.
So when
John Woodmass, nice to see you.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in ages neither, man. How you doing, player? But I think that rounds up the show, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I think more information needs to be brought out in regards to this case, the main topic for today. Very interesting.
And I think you guys, if you love your stories, I mean, even if not even from the UFO aspect, but even as a mystery, it is a great mystery as to what was unfolding there. And there is so much information, regardless of what hasn't been released. There is so much that has been released that it's just incredible. And you can just, I reckon it's going to be a bottomless pit, but I'm going to go down it because I'm very interested in this case. It has fascinated me. It has fascinated me from the day I told you we need to do this show. You remember? And what is that? Maybe 2-3 weeks ago I said about this show.
Mm.
and it has fascinated me.
Yeah, it's very fascinating for sure.
What's this?
More fascinating than the disclosure we're supposed to get.
Fastest military drone in history is an experimental one, which can Mach 9.6. Wow. I bet you that's, were they able to stabilize that? Because something going that fast that's on, I don't know, they probably could. Wow. Wow.
Hold on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that info. So, what are you talking about? Are you doing a show on Friday?
Yeah, doing a show on Friday. Language. So,
I was burning my hand. I think I can be forgiven.
I'm going to bring up this magazine from 1998. This is one of the magazines I used to read when I was a kid. And in relation to pop culture and UFOs in the 90s, hold on, wait for it. We're talking about this. Basically, the truth is out there. What was in relation to pop culture back in the 90s? So have a look at that. I've just uploaded a video today. Well, actually about 15 minutes ago. I'm hidden. Want to bring it up? I'll just pull it up here for you to show.
How long is it?
No, it's not a video. It's just going to show you what people can click on.
Oh, I'll be real quick. Yeah, hold on. I will check that out, man. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm sorry. I've been really diving into this Colares incident. It's really fascinating. I will check it out. I will remember the Star of Bethlehem. So I will Google it and let's see what I can find up. I hope it's not about the birth of the Christ, but I will check it out because I know what you're referring it to. So yeah.
Sweet. So this video right here, UFOs in UK, combination reports of GMTV in the 90s. So this is a full combination of interviews from the 1990s, GMTV news reports, basically. So I just uploaded that, which is, oh, bloody hell, 2.5 hours long. So that's for you to feast your eyes on.
Y'all got a long ass show.
A long ass show for that one, yeah. So yeah, that's a combination
should be funny.
of base.
Wasn't that Eamon Holmes back then?
Is Eamon Holmes on there? Yes,
I love that.
Holmes.
Used to love that guy. You know, I didn't like how he treated Ruth, but that's their own personal business. But yeah. I mean, I can't say that I like Eamon in this house because my missus can't stand him for what he's done to Ruth. Well, that's women. I'm not being funny. I'm not being sexist, but women like to stick together. And when a woman says she's been done wrong or they feel a woman's been done wrong, they all stick together, mate. So, you know,
true.
And true. I'm not because me and my buddies, we had this conversation, you know, like you have these stone conversations. And we had this conversation about Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I basically said, I used to like Dog, but now he's blown it with me. Because do you know what Dog did? You know who Dog the Bounty Hunter is?
Yeah, I used to watch this program back on Comedy
Central. You know what Dog did? You know what Dog did? You know about his wife? You know about his wife dying?
Yeah, passed away. Yeah.
Then a month later, he was on the news, and whoever would talk to him about, I found love again, and he's parading this woman around who was apparently the carer of his wife. He's moved her into the house, and no doubt sleeping in the same bed that him and Beth was sleeping in. And I'm like, nah. So my one friend was saying there ain't nothing wrong with that. So I said, so how would you feel now if, God forbid, my missus passed away, and then a month later you saw me walking down the road holding some girl's hand, and he goes, well, I would think you moved on real quick. And I said, exactly. I said, what a man wants to do in his private life, that's his business. Dog didn't have to come on TV a month after and say, I found the love of my life. He didn't have to do that. He didn't. He could have stayed stunned. He could have came out a year later.
Yeah, a lot of people would have still been grieving at that point, you know.
Exactly. I just didn't like it. So yeah, that was my whole thing. I don't know. So that's where the tie-in with Eamon is, because Eamon left Ruth, and then all of a sudden you seen him in a wheelchair being pushed around by this girl, and you're like, well, Ruth, you dodged a bullet there, mate, because you would have been pushing him around in that wheelchair. So, but anyways, enough of my moral stance, because how people want to live their life is their business, not me. Well, it is me to judge, because they are in the public light. And if you are in the public light, you have to take criticism. Hell, I'm not in the public light, and I take it. So it is for me to judge. And, you know, I did like your dog. I will watch your programs, but you as a person, I think you made a wrong call there. Love is love. And that's, you know, I'm happy you found love. But a month afterwards, that makes me think, like, what was going on while she was dying?
This is it. This is like, is it a bit like the Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of situation where he was banging his, you know, nanny?
Yeah, but they do that. He wasn't out in public. The only how he got outed was because his son.
Is it? I don't know the full story, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, because he had a son with the nanny. And he's been giving her money from that. And then the son said, you know what? I ain't taking this no more. You're my daddy.
Jesus Christ.
So you know, but Arnold's different, and we can forgive Arnold because that stuff goes on. His wife was not dead. In fact, his wife was still alive. He's still with her. But if his wife had died, and then a month later he'd come out with that foolishness, I think people wouldn't have liked him.
Yeah. Maybe she had that snapping pussy. I don't know.
Jesus Christ,
I'm talking about dog the bounty hunter here, so I don't know.
On that note, man.
Let's end the show. Go on then. I've already ruined it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this show. What's it called again? I can't remember. Is it
now I can't say it. Corlena. I need to see it to read it. Yeah, but that was a fascinating case, guys. Check the description box. You can see the full interview for the Colonel. I do recommend it, especially for the part where he's showing you the implant. Man, that is wild, and that is towards the end of the video. It's from Eyes on Cinema again. Great work finding out all these stuff. Great work. So check it out. Check out his testimony. And remember, this was the head guy that ran the military operation there. He ran the operation there, even though he had to answer to other people that weren't there. He done it. So that's it. And also check the other link, witness statements. But also, man, if you're fascinated about this story, go dig some more there. There are like podcasts where other people have covered it, but I suggest just dig, because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of newspaper clippings, photos. I just grabbed some tip of the iceberg stuff. But that's it, man. That's it, man. So Friday, what time your show is? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock. We'll be talking about disclosure. I'm joking. Something about UFOs. So links in description. And disclosure. Yeah. So I'll mean that. And disclosure.
And suck it, Chris.
And suck it, Chris. Yes.
I'm gonna have him on the show, you know. Should we reach out to Chris? Like kind of ambush him, say, look, we want to talk about your stuff and be nice and nice. Then when he comes on, say, how did you feel about ripping off the sleeping prophet? How did you feel about that? And when is the world gonna end, or when is this thing gonna happen? Because you got your dates wrong once. Will you get it wrong again?
2027, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next
and then
year, anyway.
2027 will come and go, and it'll be another whimper. But anyways,
excuse. Yeah.
Anyways, so guys, until next week, I want you all to stay blessed and most importantly, keep safe. Okay? All right.
And eat pudding.
And adios, amigos.
For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing concealed that will not be known and illuminated. Stay blessed and keep safe. This is the hidden underbelly. Stay blessed and keep safe.